It's been quite a year, hasn't it? Computer crashes, copyright battles, trying to figure out what people saw in the original Pete's Dragon. And here we are in a fresh new year and a fresh new motherboard. So let's keep up with the trend. Let's go do some uncharted territory. What do we have in the requested bin that's new?
Well, let's see here. You have the Milo Murphy's Law, another Steven Universe, or more of the Lion Guard.
No. I do not mean new as in current.
Oh, well then. We have Walking with Dinosaurs, a Fanboy and Chum.
No, I mean new as in a new category I really haven't done before.
You could finally get around to watching your most requested review.
Never! Now find something!
Oh, what do we have here?
I don't even know how to pronounce that. What is it?
Well, let's see. According to this, it is a French animated television series produced by...
Perfect, let's do it. Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Squeal Talk Review. You heard that right. We're watching something from France today. This, however you say it, was apparently so popular in its home country that it eventually got an English dub so that we in the English-speaking parts of the world with reading issues could enjoy it too. I've heard of this show a couple of times, but I really don't know anything about it aside that it's apparently based off of an MMORPG. And just by glancing through the Wikipedia pages, it doesn't look like one has much to do with the other aside from the environment they live in. And I know this must cross your mind. Don't video game movies turn out terrible? That is true, but series based off of them are a different story. There's plenty of bad eggs too, but there are also a couple interesting ones. Enough being said, not really sure what I'm in store for here, but as they say, allons-y!
Oh, that is French.
Who put that on the script? Is that French? The opening starts with just pasting the logo on the screen before everything explodes into color and design. The vocals is nothing really special, but they're really trying to emphasize that this was based on a game thing by having their main character platforming his way past other characters with a bit of portal power. We cut into a small village of whatever mystical land this is, where we see many walks of life living together in harmony. We've got humans, some kind of elves, whatever she is. This little peaceful town is suddenly shattered by a bright light, and they find themselves invaded by... Grandpa with a baby carriage. Having suspicious people appear from back alleys is apparently not that uncommon of an issue for these people, as they just shrug it off. But it appears someone is taking a special interest in him.
Hey, old man, what's in the baby carriage?
What's in the baby carriage? What do you think is in the baby carriage?
A baby? Why don't we take a closer look?
Can't Gramps take his grandkid out for an interdimensional stroll without having Weirdo show up? Gramps here shrugs off the goons, but soon finds himself against the villain of the story, who starts talking.
Appearances can be deceiving.
And talking.
Take me, for example. In spite of my size, I have an insatiable appetite.
And talking.
But an incredibly powerful source of Wakfu. Enough to satisfy my hunger for all eternity.
Two things, okay? Shut up.
To avoid being talked to death, Gramps ignores him and continues on his way. And as you might expect, he who does not shut up didn't approve of that. And he gets his butt whipped for his troubles. So remember that the moral of the story is, you can talk until people's ears fall off. You can steal all the Wakfu, Waffle you want, but the number one golden rule is...
My time magic doesn't work on him.
Don't mess with Grandpa! With that skirmish over, we cut to a pair of bounty hunters with their latest catch. And when one of them shows compassion with a heart of gold,
Get out of here before I change my mind.
he wins a mystical baby for his trouble, complete with its own animal sidekick. Every hero has to have an animal sidekick, so this guy is getting a package deal. He doesn't have to go out and find one or purchase it separately. He's getting quite a deal. Ooh.
Well, my little gobble, is that how you say hi where you come from?
Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha, why are we still laughing? This happens.
Ooh.
We then cut to years later with Hugo all grown up.
Dad is baking bread!
Okay, what kind of backwards twisted world are we living in where a baker makes you more buff than being an adventurous bounty hunter? Furthermore, it seems that Hugo has converted his baby bundle blanket thingy into a hat so he can continue to lug it around Linus style.
I can't be without my blanket!
Speaking of Peanuts references, we find ourselves cutting to this. This would be so annoyingly out of tune with the rest of the plot. If these things weren't just so cute. Just look at them! We show off a few more of the characters you might recognize from the opening, but they're just passing through for now. It's the first episode. It's focusing more on the backstory and getting the main plot going. It'd be impossible for any show to introduce all important characters, the plot, the character subplots, and the backstory that you need to know in the first episode without it sounding like a high school history lecture. It's more important for a show to immerse us into the world, get us to relate to the main characters, and then when we're invested you can start throwing everything you've got at us. Especially for an episodic story like this one, where each episode relies on the previous to make sense. We return to Hugo, who is an aspiring master chef.
One Alibert special! Come on, you...
The animation here is beautiful. It's bright, it's colorful, it's obvious that a lot of thought and effort went to making this. But there's just something about how the characters move. It all just feels a little stiff, and not completely flowing as it should be. And it kind of reminds me of a long game cutscene, to be honest, which begs the question. Was it intentional to pay homage to its source material, or was this simply a case of pushing Adobe Flash to its limits at the time? Could be a little bit of both.
Mr. Mayor, good day.
Well, I'll be a greasy gobble. Roll strewed. Come to pay your tab?
Alibert, it's a lovely day, so please don't go spoil it for me.
You know, old man, every time you open your mouth, it just... Yeah, that. Could you please just not talk again? Ever? This seems to be a problem that exists in the English version, as the French guy sounds just fine.
Oh, bon, rien de spécial, je vivote. C'est toi qui avais raison, Alibert. C'est pas une vie de traîner sa pelle comme ça.
So I'm not sure what this guy's problem is. Is he doing a lousy job of sounding like an old man, a lousy job of impersonating the original actor, or a lousy Yoda impersonation? Either way, it's annoying. Back in the kitchen, Hugo finds that he's not much of a normal kid after all, as he's able to summon little teleporter circles. What am I looking at? Okay, weird foreshadowy something bad's on its way scene. Yeah, whatever you say. Just cut to when this thing makes an appearance on the plot. Big and Ugly starts tearing up the place, but fearless Hugo stands his ground.
Those people haven't paid!
Screw customer safety, no one's leaving until you pay! Another epic battle ensures, with plenty of action and thrills.
A shoo-shoo! He's possessed by a shoo-shoo!
Oh. Can we just replace all future dialogue with the French guy with subtitles, please?
Hey! What's a shoo-shoo?
C'est un esprit malfaisant, un démon enfermé dans un objet. Mal contrôlé, il se libère et il possède le malheureux qui en est propriétaire.
Thank you! Hugo unleashes his new portal abilities and separates the shoo-shoo from its victim, and reveals why it's another main character.
In the wash?
That's something I absolutely must tell you.
He comes.
Guess we'll get to know him later. The more important thing is the village is being invaded by these things that turn people into trees. And with that, everything suddenly ends. That is how the first episode ends. So far, it was pretty fair. It's bright and colorful with a mystical realm, even if I don't understand all the vocabulary.
Well, I'll be a greasy gobble.
The characters are likable, even if the English didn't exactly work out in places. It had some epic battles and promises even more epic adventure in the future, with plenty of laughs along the way. And I have to say that this kind of flashy cutscene look to it isn't bad. It's just something you have to get used to. It's just different, and different doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Seeing as how this was based on a video game, it could have been a lot worse. So if this thing has managed to catch your attention, go check it out, even with a Yoda impersonator. I am the Great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. I thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please like and subscribe to me. If your interest has indeed been piqued, you can try checking it out on Netflix. Also, you may donate anything you wish to donate to me here.